to the
That's
international
so
act. It's just that we don't have.
I just don't see.
Yes,
I don't see.
Why?
Because your solution is let's throw a bunch of money at it. I don't think it's so much more than that.
Yes, let's throw a bunch of money. No, let's
so
throw a
much
bunch
more
of
than
money at this problem.
I don't deny.
listen,
I don't
no,
deny
no, 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 no.
that Gengetone and
Oh my
Arbantone
God.
has legs.
It's Wait, Sam, sorry. Don't simplify my argument like that. It is throwing a bunch of money, but also being very, very strategic with it. Because
But
then
where you
you
throw
throw
the
that money in different...
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 30% podcast. This is episode 114. I was going to 104. 114. We appreciate every single one of you for listening, for tuning in. We thank you. We talk about the music industry on here, and we are going to do some of that today. I am Sam Are. I go professionally by Are. That's AARE. And I'm joined by Afamifuna Onyebadi, fellow producer and industry man. Industry man. Afam.
Okay. Yeah, what's up?
I try to keep it as professional
man.
as possible.
Sam, am I an industry man or am I an industry man?
All right. It's good. He thinks it's Jay-Z. You think you're Jay-Z? No, just calm down. Chill. You're in between the two, I guess.
Listen, they call me Hover on my spare time. Sorry.
Bro goes to New York for 1 year, and all of a sudden he's the king of New York. Relax. Take it easy.
Can I get a bacon cheese? A bacon cheese? Oh, sorry.
What?
Go ahead.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm done.
Yeah, you are. What's up, man? How's the weather over there?
It's actually it's been cold. It's snowing. It snowed last night. So yeah, man. Pretty cold out here, but like sunny still. It's sunny today, so that's good.
Did you go out and make snow angels?
I did not make snow angels because
wasted opportunity.
It's not snowed enough. Like it doesn't snow that much over here in NYC, so it's like really just like a thin layer of snow, to be honest. Aside from that, I've been fine. Just working on a project that I've been working on for a while now. So just figuring it out. Just going through the motions, just trying to. We'll see how it comes out. So yeah, just been working a lot on that, working on music, as usual. I wouldn't say there's too much happening in my life. How about yours, man? How's your week been?
It was cool. This week I went, like, I found a hard drive of mine that I was using when I was in college, and I plugged it in to listen to some of the beats I was making 10 years ago. And oh boy, it made me sad. Like, low-key, I was a little bit sad because I was like, if I had continued, because some of the stuff I was making was pretty legendary, if I do say so myself. Well, of course, I'm overhyping myself, but I was just like, oh man, like this is some good. I low-key want to shop some of those beats still around and see if do an experiment and see if an artist will be able to notice, even though I don't have the stems, an artist will be able to notice whether those beats are. Yeah, and also I also went through some of the beats that we had made when we were in that outfit a couple of years ago. And I was like, there's still some stuff in there that
outfit.
the outfit that shall not be named.
That outfit.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was cool. That was a very interesting discovery.
Wait, that's so funny. Sorry to hop on your story, but like I also went back to listen to the the Butchos thing that we did, and I listened to some of the unreleased songs. Yeah, so that's weird. I also did that. I was reminiscing.
Yeah, there was some nostalgia. But that was cool, man. I really wish I had gained momentum instead of being afraid. All those 3 C's, if I had figured out my 3Cs back when I was younger. By now, I'd be out of here. But right now, I'm still in here. But apart from that, didn't do nothing much. What did I? No, I did something. I can't remember. Oh, I went out. I was at Gecko Cafe, and man, a bunch of people performed. Sanaipe, I think, was around. What's this lady's name? Mayonde played. A couple of other people played. It was very interesting. Just a chill vibe. I wasn't necessarily paying attention, but then paying attention to their performance. But I was in the vicinity, just chilling and kicking it with a couple of guys. So yeah, that was that. That was all I did. I think it was this. Yeah, it was this past week, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, anyway, that's all I did, man. And chilled, did some work. You know, we're getting back into the groove of things. So I am dancing along. That's it. That's it for my week.
You're dancing along. That sounds very poetic. Did anything else happen this week? No, I feel like this week has been, well, aside from, we'll talk about music. Music. So Sam. What what happened this week? Okay, so I was on Facebook.
Still. Like a proper millennial.
To be fair, no. To be fair, because TikTok was banned over here for a bit, bro. We were struggling.
Was it? Wait. Was it actually banned, or is it just guys creating pictures on CapCut? It was actually banned. You couldn't log into it.
No. Yeah. It was legitimately banned for 13 hours. I didn't know what to do with my life. So I was like, let me open this fossil called Facebook. And there's a prominent journalist. He's called John Muchiri, and sometimes he writes articles on just what the goings on in the music industry. I think he's based in the UK. But he's very much Kenyan, and he had an opinion piece on Arbantone and Gengetone, which we've talked about a lot on this podcast. And his opinion is just in a nutshell. He says, "My opinion remains the same. Both genres are only good for the local market to flood the airwaves, but cannot hold water in the international platforms." And his whole argument is that essentially the Arbantone and Gengetone artists should keep on gaining numbers in our industry, you know, gain the clout, get the social media numbers up, get the YouTube numbers up, get the streaming numbers up, and then use those numbers as leverage to kind of now move into more international appealing styles of music, and I'm doing air quotes, right? So that's essentially his outlook on things, because I think he in his opinion, Arbantone and Gengetone wouldn't appeal to the international audience. And then you look at the comments, and a lot of people actually disagree with him. A lot of people are like, we put a lot of pressure on our artists to be international, and like sometimes it's a bit like unfair, like, because then it gets people like wondering, okay, then what do I create? Like, I like creating Arbantone, but you're telling me I can't go international with this, and yada.
Yeah.
And I was reading that, and I was just like, I don't know. I think I disagree with what he's saying. But first, I want to ask you, what do you think? What do you think about that sentiment?
Well, I'm interested I'm interested in listening to why you disagree.
Oh, you want to hear what I think?
Yeah.
Okay. Essentially, I think it's so unfair, because even in Kenya, we consume a lot of music from all over the world, right?
Yep.
And it's not like we necessarily understand what they're talking about in those songs. When we listen to like Amapiano, or like even a lot of like the Afrobeats coming out from West Africa, a lot of times it's just about the vibe. We don't really understand what these guys are talking about, and and their music is not necessarily even made with the intention of like appealing to Kenyans in terms of like what's being said.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they just be saying things in like their own languages, so it's mostly for them, right? So how come we can't do the same thing? Why do we as Kenyans have to like make music catering to other countries when other countries have figured out ways to just make their music, and then we still resonate with it either way? So for me, I think the main reason why our music isn't going like to international markets, it's more a marketing and PR thing than anything. I think the Gengetone. Okay, so when it comes to Arbantone, it might be a little bit problematic, but only because of the
sampling.
Because of the whole sampling issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only issue, right? But even then, the Arbantone artists have started hopping on a lot of like originally produced beats. So it's a problem that has an easy fix, in my opinion. And I think they should just keep on doing what they're doing. Where we're failing is we're not marketing our music appropriately. We're not figuring out ways to push our music into foreign lands, and we're not actively doing it. Or not actively, but we're not being bullish about it. We are not like being very aggressive with trying to get our music into other markets. That's where we're failing, because ultimately people like music. I feel like if you exposed like Angukanayo, for example, the beat is fire. You can hear like the melodies they're doing. Like if you don't understand like Kiswahili Sheng, bro, like you can still feel like there's something really like dope about like the way they're rapping and stuff like that. And I just think if a lot of money was put into like circulating that in South African airwaves or Nigerian airwaves, it would maybe it doesn't become a hit like it does here, but it would move the needle a little bit. I think some kids in West Africa would hear that and be like, even just to be cool and just to be the guys listening to something different, they would like it, right?
I think it's not. I have a question for you. I have a question for you. So, one, do you think a country can export more than one sound globally?
Yes.
You think a country can export more than one sound? Has that been done before? Like, do we have examples of that happening? Apart from like the mega markets like the US.
Why do you ask this question?
Because I'm thinking we have like, this is the main conversation that we're having a lot recently, right? Is how can we export Kenyan music to the world? And so in my head, I'm automatically going to, all right, so we have a couple of, because Nairobi, I'm not saying Nairobi, Kenya has a bunch of different sounds attached to it. And I'm pretty sure every single one of these groups would want to export. We have the indie guys who are doing that. We have the underground guys who want to export their music, the rappers. We have the New Nairobi. We have
the EDM guys. The EDM guys.
Yeah, we also have
exactly.
We also have so all of this are fighting for that international spot. I don't know if we have the capacity as a currently, and maybe I could be wrong, but I don't know if we have a capacity currently to export more than one sound. Currently, what's really doing, let me say, making a little bit of waves is the EDM. Is EDM music, but that's a different sort of nature. And then right after that, we have Afropop with the push from, the Bien and that sort of sound.
But what do you mean we don't have the capacity? Like, it maybe even that would imply that there's only.
Go ahead.
No, but that would imply that there's only one like body that's in charge of pushing these sounds.
No. Right? I'm not speaking to us being able to push, because we can push a million things. I'm speaking to it being able to be received globally, because I feel like if we push a couple of sounds, it might not be a concerted effort to make something blossom, and we might end up giving 2 shillings to 5. 2 shillings 5 times rather than one big 10 to one person. You know, I don't know if that was my math is completely off there.
Wait.
But,
okay. Yeah.
But do you get what I'm trying to say? It might end up not doing as much and sort of giving little to spreading it out wide and pushing. Well, that's the nature of the market.
But why?
Unless you want to tell me that we can push everything this once and it's all going to blow up. Like let's say it does, right? And it's all going to blow up and it's all going to be received globally at the same time, at similar time
but why
intervals.
Not? But why not? But
how realistic
but my question is why not? Like, listen, we've no. But even on our level, like, we've pushed out Sophia Nzao and Idaziz, right? Those are names, and Nesmburu. Those are names that would get like some international recognition. Like they would say, yeah, we know those guys doing that sound in East Africa, right?
Yeah.
We've pushed out R&B at the same time, because even with the whole thing with the colors that came last year, right?
Yeah.
People will recognize a Zoe Kengocha or a Karun or a BN them being on colors and listening and finding out that those are East African acts, right? Those are two different genres already that I've mentioned. BN and Kina Bensoul successfully,
and the Afropop scene, I guess.
And Sauti Soul, they've done tours internationally, and they're pushing a whole different genre of music. So it's doable. Like, I don't understand why we can't push different genres of music from the same country. Like, okay, I know the scale is completely different, but America does that all the fucking time. Like, why are they like different? Why do they have different like what we listen to from America? Like is. I mean, everyone in Kenya will listen to R&B music from America, hip hop music from America.
Let's use music from America. Let's use TZ as an example.
So
let's use TZ as an example. Like when they're pushing bongo music, right? And it's bongo. Well, it's bongo in different forms because they've done amapiano bongo and they've done reggaeton or raga bongo, but it's been still that same bongo sound. Here we have like very distinct, which is great. I love that about the Kenyan industry because there's something for everyone. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, because even internally, if you think about Arbantone and Gengetone, even internally, I don't think the masses, or rather everybody with the selling power in terms of being able to sell the music and push the music, I don't think everybody is on the Gengetone wave and the Arbantone wave as well. Like they've gone through their own not controversies, but then their own down negative press, sort of, let me put it that way, for lack of better words, negative press, because they've not been able to there's it's sampled music, or it's not very relatable, and it's not very relatable even to a lot of people. It seems to be Arbantone and Gengetone, I feel like, are very popular currently, but then I still feel like there's still a little bit of nicheness to them.
And my argument is that that's not a problem for it being niche, because other markets what's the word? The other markets not transport. Well, for lack of a better word, they transport they export their niche music to us, and we still receive it with open arms. So but why can't it work differently? And
the music that blows up is not like, like South Africa, Amapiano blew up, and then it kind of it blew up a long time ago.
But it's still niche.
But Amapiano is not niche.
Do you understand what they be saying?
Afrobeat in West Africa wasn't niche. Afrobeat was the sound of the day.
But bro, no. But do you understand what they're saying? No, but Sam, do you understand what they're saying on a lot of those songs? Do you understand?
Are you talking about the music as a whole, or you're talking about the language that they're using? Because we're talking language, then that's a different conversation.
But it's part of the music.
It is. But music is more than just what they're saying. Music is everything put together, which is what I'm talking about. The whole package of Arbantone and Gengetone.
That's also what I'm saying. I'm also saying that like our music isn't necessarily just, it's not that our music is not palatable, right? Our music is just not marketed and distributed, and there's not enough PR attached to it. We're not doing enough to export it outside of our boundaries.
I'll be the bad guy. One of the PR disasters. No, not say disasters. One of the PR problems that it's going to is Gengetone and Arbantone, and I've seen this around, so it's not necessarily just my opinion. Gengetone and Arbantone seems to be, apart from being party music, it seems to be set for like a specific class. Kind of. That's what I've seen. I don't necessarily agree with that, but then I've seen that it seems to be set for a specific class. That's what I said when not everyone accepts it internally.
I'm sorry. I have to disagree with you wholeheartedly. You like back in the day, we used to listen to a lot of raga music from Jamaica, and that shit, you would argue it's also set for a specific class. They talked about very raunchy lyrics, and we still fucked with it heavy. And we still fucked with it heavy.
Okay, I would
Gala Bubble,
because
like hey Miss Fatty, you are murder. Like
right.
Bro, we'll still listen to that shit. We still listen to that shit. So, yeah, and my argument is it's not about that. The fact of the content is so raunchy and shit like that. I'm telling you, people in other countries will still listen to music with raunchy ass lyrics if it's a vibe. They will like it.
Yeah,
we're just not marketing it appropriately.
I guess so. I get, but bring me back to my first point. Like in terms of when you say we're not marketing it appropriately, I think there's just a lot we're trying to market right now. And
right now, Sam, on TikTok, one of the most trending things on TikTok is the cha cha cha. That's the Brazilian funk sound.
Yeah,
you would argue very much that that's made nichely, very specifically for a specific set of people in Brazil. But bro, that shit is viral. That shit is like on TikTok, like all the football edits, we're all listening to that mchacha sound, right? But that's so like it's so specific to the baile people like in Brazil, right? Why are we fucking with that? It's because it's marketed well, because people figured out a way to make that shit pop on TikTok. But that shit is targeted. That shit is, bro. No, but it's just going on your argument though. Like it's like that music is made for a specific subset of people who come from like what they would call the favelas in Brazil. But we still find it interesting because it's marketed well.
I want to argue outside of TikTok though, because I do feel like TikTok brings in a different conversation. We are talking about that Brazilian sound. It's going to be viral in the moment, but then I don't think that would push the whole genre. It will get a bunch of new fans, definitely, but that it won't become a thing. Wait. Let me finish. It won't become a thing like you see, like what Afrobeat has done, where Afrobeat has become. It has been pushed and it has become like forward in terms of the industry. If it's just a TikTok viral, we can't necessarily stake everything on a couple of viral songs. It has to be a movement, if I put it that way. Because to see Afrobeat in front, and back then when Drake put Wizkid on his project and that became the most streamed song, and then we see everyone trying to get Rema on a track and Davido and all of them collaborating, and just that being put in the forefront until they've even decided to add them into the Grammys, which is cool. That was more of just a few viral songs. That was like a whole movement. And what I'm saying that it might be, my whole point is it might be difficult to do that here just because there's just so many different things that we are trying to make that happen with. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like, it's just a lot. We are starting at a disadvantage, which is not, I don't mean that
I don't
the music is negative.
Well, first of all,
great.
It depends on how you look at it. I don't disagree with the point that you're saying that there's a lot of stuff that we're trying to export, but that's being done. It's being done. Like, if we're talking about Brazil, bro, like they have the bossa nova, they have samba, they have this baile funk thing that we've been talking about, and it's exported here, bro. I have a friend who put me on to a really good bossa nova playlist on Spotify, and it's like I don't see why it's impossible.
That's fine.
No, I'm saying I don't see why it's impossible for one country to export multiple sounds.
It's possible. It's possible. I'm talking about
highly.
Is this sound, when we talk about exporting multiple sounds, are we going to be able to export multiple sounds? Because I think about exporting Kenyan music, I'm thinking about exporting it in the way Afrobeat has been exported, or in the way Amapiano has been exported, where that it's penetrated the most deepest parts of other markets? Like, are we going to be? My question is just: are we going to be able to export all that music the same, or do we just do as much as we can and see what sticks? That's what I'm
First
talking
of
about.
all, one, this conversation has morphed into something different from what I was initially arguing. But now that we're here, though, yes, I think the main issue is, do I think it's possible? I think it's 100% possible for us to export our sounds and have them penetrate as much as these guys have done, like, into our market. But why it's not happening right now is because we are not marketing our music appropriately. And how do we do that? Like, I was telling you before the podcast, like, I was looking at the New Music Friday, and one of these guys I've been listening to from Nigeria, although he's actually based in Russia, is called Ekene. Like, I was seeing his music there. Like, and I'm just like, in the New Music Friday, Kenya. And I'm just like, bro, it's because a lot of these guys, like, if you're using distribution companies, you're getting them to put your music on New Music Friday, Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria. Like, you're really, like, there's a concerted effort to get that music to spread beyond, like, your region, you know what I mean? And when it comes to marketing, like, it goes back to that whole conversation with Steph Capella. Like, if you can find point men in Nigeria, for example, who are the radio stations, like, even if they want to be paid, you pay them and you get them to play Kenyan music. You know what I mean? You have to be bullish. You have to be very, very, like, aggressive. You know, that's what I'm saying. If you find radio directors in South Africa, you like, the people who can do this, because it's not every regular Tom, Dick, and Harry can do this. But if you're in a position where you can make these connections, right, and make shit happen, that's what you should be doing. You should be going to these countries, seeing how they consume music, and if we have to be paying these people, we pay them to put our music on, and that's how, like, that's how we end up listening to all the West African artists, because that's what they do. They pay our radio stations to play their music. It's because they're aggressive about it. We can be aggressive as well. I think we can. And that's where we are lacking. It's not about the sound. It's not about the fact that, we need to appeal to an international market. We don't have to do that. Our artists can make the music they are making today and have that music still appeal to the international acts. It's just that we don't have.
I just don't see.
Yes,
I don't see.
Why?
Because your solution is, let's throw a bunch of money at it. I don't think it's so much more than that.
Yes, let's throw a bunch of money. No, let's throw a bunch of money at this problem.
I don't deny that Gengetone and Arbantone has legs.
It's Wait, Sam, sorry. Don't simplify my argument like that. It is throwing a bunch of money, but also being very, very strategic with it. Because then you throw that money in different... Yeah, it's where you throw the money. You're gonna penetrate people's ways. So I would look at it is, how does a person exist, and what forms of media are they exposed to, right? Fine. Afam is exposed to TikTok, he's exposed to Twitter, he's exposed to Instagram, and maybe sometimes he'll listen to radio, or maybe sometimes he's gonna listen to podcasts. And then I'm gonna target that. I'm gonna get the podcasters to talk about the music. I'm gonna pay TikTok influencers to start trends. I'm gonna pay the radio stations to put the music on. Yes, I'm talking about tactics that require high intensive, like, money spent, but it's being done by people, which means it's not impossible. I'm gonna pay the right people, the promoters of shows. I'm gonna be like, listen, I have these upcoming artists. I want them to be in your show. Like, that's how we end up seeing ALO, at the R&B event that we went for.
Do you think UMG, when they picked up, was it Ethic? Do you think they had that in mind? Let's speculate here. Why do you think that didn't work out? Because that's exactly what should have happened then.
The team was trash. The team was trash. They
team?
missed out on an opportunity then. The people who were handling that situation. Because honestly, like even with Nikita Kering, like that's a missed opportunity to like have her music like permeate, like even if it couldn't like really appeal to the Western audience, they could have that shit popping in the rest of Africa, and Africans who like R&B music would be fucking with it heavy. Right, so it's people who are dropping the ball. It's people who are not doing things like in the right way. Not to be super like, I don't want to be high and mighty and say like, oh, Afam is the only guy who can do things in the proper way. No, obviously not. That's not what I'm saying. But I just think that sometimes us as Kenyans, we look at ourselves and we look at our music and we're like, oh no, it's not good enough. We need to figure out how to appeal internationally. Nah,
sometimes it isn't.
We just have
That's
to
the
be.
Truth. The truth is sometimes it isn't.
No, Sam,
it's not always that
we have to be
that we should be positive
we have
about
to
it.
Be
no, wait.
ourselves.
Let me tell you, it's not always that that we should be 100% positive and just kumbaya about the music. Sometimes we need to like look at it, and that's been one of the criticisms of these two specific genres, but more Arbantone because it came. I mean, more Gengetone because it came first. And my question is now, if will the world, and this is just a question, I don't know, I don't have the answers, I'm not necessarily saying anything, but will the world accept at a grand scale music that us internally we are still sort of fighting with each other about?
I can break down your argument so easily. Look at Sophia Nzao. She's not widely accepted internally, but externally she's accepted like fuck. She's the most streamed music artist in Kenya, and it's because of streams that are coming internationally.
Well, Sophia Nzao is not the greatest example.
Completely broken down your. I've completely
EDM,
broken down that
EDM
argument.
Is way globally accepted. EDM is like
yeah, but
there.
did she spend time dilly-dallying about whether she's going to be accepted internally?
No, I'm not saying that we should just sit down and have conferences on Gengetone and Arbantone conferences on how we can honestly, reach the world.
Like,
so what I'm talking about.
Listen, it's a marketing problem. It's not about the content. It's about how we push the content. Also, let me tell you something. People online will gravitate, and I know this is gonna sound very like aggressive, but they will gravitate to what you force feed them. It's just the truth. Everything that pops off on online and whatever is not organic, man. People like the amount of organic music that reaches your ears is so limited. Like those occurrences where music like just blossoms organically, those happen like so little times. It's like a genie in a bottle. Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like those moments happen very rarely. For the most part, music reaches people inorganically. It's paid for, it's planned for, there are tactics, and it is planned. Like it's something that somebody set out to do. Like they targeted you. You are the consumer, and they just figured out a way to get this product to you. And I think
I get that. I feel like I do understand.
I think we can do the same thing.
But I feel like
I think we can do the same thing.
Yeah. Maybe okay. Well, my
like no, Sam. Sorry, but like even with the R&B artists that we have, like Nikita Kering, Njerai right now, right? Zaituni Wambui, for example, the Iyanas, the Andias of Kenyan music. Like, bro, those people could be. Listen, I'm not even talking about international, like West or like Europe. In Nigeria, the people in Nigeria, the Alte group of what am I trying to say? The Alte like faction in these countries will fuck with a Gabi or a Iyana song or a Zoe Kengocha song or a Maya Molo song or a Zaituni Wambui song or a Njerai song. They will like it. I'm telling you, they will like it if we push it to them appropriately. It's not about us, how we package our music or what we're doing. What we're doing or what we're not doing is we're not appropriately marketing our music. That's it.
I think at some point,
PR and the marketing,
some point if we throw money at it, that there will be an obstacle that it will be difficult for money to even though there's few obstacles that money can't get over. But
so essentially what you're saying is we're just not good enough. We're just not good enough.
Wow. How would you make what a summary.
No, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
No, I have not made any qualifying statements about Arbantone or Gengetone. I'm merely just speculating on what it would take. It could be good enough. I personally feel like the quality can be better, but we've had that talk before many times and you've disagreed. So that's fine. But I do think that more needs to be done, perhaps even just to make it more palatable at home. Charity begins at home. Charity does not leave the house and go and just have a blast elsewhere and she hasn't pre-gamed. Charity needs to pre-game first. And all I'm saying is that we need to step up our music pre-game and figure out how to increase the culture of it here. Now, I could be completely wrong. I might not be consuming that music a lot or be in those spaces, because it's really all about the spaces to know exactly what's happening. But I do think that it might be a little bit more than just, hey, let's position this well, because then what could happen is that you get a few songs kick off and they take off, and then they might not reach maybe they don't reach the heights that like Mwaki reached. Which will now like really put a spotlight on some of the Kenyan artists. Or, I mean, what then happens is that it's little fires everywhere. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe what we need is little fires everywhere. Or maybe what we need is like a really, really big fire to explode.
We're not going to get a big fire.
Well,
I'm telling you right now, Sam, we're not going to get like a big fire. We're not going to get an Afrobeat. We're not going to get an Amapiano. And that's because of the way our industry is segmented. Like I'm telling you right now, realistically, it's just not going to happen, right? But still, we have good music coming out of the country, and if somebody is wholly focused on exporting the R&B sound, right? Great. I would like them to just be focused on that. Focus on how to get Njarai and Kina Zaituni Wambui popping, right? Focus on that, on how to get Kasha's name out there. You focus on that. Meanwhile, I know there are people who are highly invested in Arbantone music and Gengetone music. You focus on that. That's your whole life. Make sure that everybody in this continent and beyond is gonna fuck with that sound at some point. And there's so many crossovers. That the Arbantone Gengetone sound is so close to a lot of the reggaeton stuff and all that type of music that's just popping out there, and the dancehall stuff at times, right? So focus on that. I don't see why that can't happen. And then when it even comes to the trappers, you need to figure out how to do it. Like even in South Africa, there's a prominent trap scene, like with the likes of Kindly Nash, who's been popping of late. Or like Nasty C. I'm telling you, you might not believe me or you might not agree with me. I think there are artists in our country who have potential to be as good as those people, but where they go wrong is they do not market themselves properly enough. You just release music just like randomly, or you go on long hiatuses and you think you're gonna be successful. You're not fucking gonna be successful.
Name some names.
Are you talented?
Here we are.
Are you talented? I'm not naming names. I'm not naming names.
Those accusations are from.
No, I'm not putting names on those bullets. But I'm telling you, there are people I know who are so talented and can make music as good as Kindly Nash. They just don't market themselves properly. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. You think Kindly Nash and Nasty C have like some special powers that we don't have?
No, they don't.
I'm telling you, that's the... Okay, fine. Yes. Me saying it's the only thing is simplifying it, but I'm saying it's a big reason why our music is thriving. Yeah. We're not marketing it properly enough. Sam, I am so... Listen, I have so much conviction.
A lot of artists here don't move like artists. They move like people who make music. And that's one of our big problems. Is there's just not...
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The only reason I fuck with Kindly Nash, for example, the people who know him, they know what I'm talking about, is because he popped off on TikTok. He did something that was so cool with the video that was filmed with one shot on an iPhone. You think that's something that somebody in Kenya can't do? Just figure out how to do it.
It's still so niche, and it will take him. It will take him a while before he gains that international.
But
like,
he's
it's
popping.
not an easy thing.
But Sam, he's popping. It's so niche, but he's popping. Why the fuck is he popping?
He's showing up on your algorithms. Is he showing up on everyone's algorithms? That's the thing.
Because he's not on your algorithm doesn't mean he's on my algorithm, yes, but he's on a lot of people's algorithms. He's somebody I even took the time to like put on my like my shout out song recommendation series on TikTok. Like, bro, it's because these people market way better than us. That's the only thing. Okay. Listen, let's not beat this dead horse.
Horse is deceased. He's gone. Bro is in heaven chilling with the saints.
For me, my final take is I think Kenyan music and Kenyan artists are talented, and they're talented enough to have their music be appreciated internationally. I think the pieces of the puzzle that are not there is we don't do good PR, we don't do good marketing, and we are not aggressive enough with these things. That's my take. What's yours? What's your final say?
Yeah. I do agree with you. And I think that marketing is a major part of why we don't go as far as we do in all the different genres that we have on here, in all the different music. But Kenyan music, one, is not, and that's the thing, like I said earlier, Kenyan music is not just one thing. Like, I really do enjoy that the fact that we have different sounds. It's just that we have to figure out how to work with the industry to make it palatable to everyone. And if it's not going to be palatable, then we do need to start figuring out how to properly invest in our music, because otherwise all we're going to have is we have music that we enjoy down here, and it doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, man, let's see how it
Sam,
goes.
I didn't expect that to become such a passionate. I was so passionate.
Yeah.
Anyway, I liked it. I liked that conversation.
TikTok.
What next? What
TikTok?
Oh yeah, TikTok. Okay.
TikTok.
So essentially, TikTok, as you all know, got banned in America and then reinstated like 13 hours later. And what got me thinking was the fact that the reactions to the ban were very split. So some people were very, very like disappointed. A lot of people were very disappointed because a lot of people have their livelihoods tied to TikTok, and a lot of people enjoyed that platform. It's a very, very enjoyable platform. Other people were actually happy that it got banned. And I noticed a trend. The people who seemed to be a little bit happy that TikTok was gone happened to be people within the music industry. For some reason, the people, well, also Mark Zuckerberg was happy, but anyway, that's a different conversation.
Hey, if Zuck is happy, I'm happy.
bro. Let me tell you, Mark Zuckerberg is like, he's too much, man. Like the day afterwards, like they literally announced a whole ass app for editing videos because CapCut was like, these guys are diabolical.
Like, it's quick.
They're diabolical, but anyway,
by any means.
The people who I noticed, like, really happy, like I said, are the music industry folks. And the reason is TikTok is a very divisive tool, especially for the music industry. Because a lot of people feel like, okay, I'll start with the pros. For a lot of people, TikTok has kind of democratized like music marketing in the sense that independent artists are able to reach audiences and kind of bypass what we call like traditional media, right? Such as radio, etc. Like you can literally make a video, it goes viral, and people are listening to your music based off of that, right? And it's nice. It's a tool that just fosters connectivity. But then on the other hand, TikTok has also changed the musical landscape in the sense that a lot of artists also just target like TikTok as like, let's try and get this music trending. You know, music kind of becomes less about the music and more about it being content, right?
Yeah.
And And that's a bit disappointing, to be honest. And a lot of people complain, oh, like, why is music so short nowadays? And like our attention spans are getting fried, and there's no more bridges, there's no more 3 verses in music.
Death
Well,
of a bridge.
TikTok plays a big role. I know TikTok plays a huge role in some of these things. And if you're an upcoming artist, like, it's a lot to think about. And I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think? Like, do you think in the music industry, like, TikTok is beneficial, or are you leaning to it being more detrimental?
It's
Yeah,
TikTok is a sign of
essentially.
the times. TikTok is a culmination of the technological boom that we've been experiencing for the past 50 some years, maybe even more than that or less. It's TikTok. I mean, what technology aimed to do was to connect people more and get information out faster, right? That's all technology has been, is trying to figure out a way to get information, not all, but then that's what mostly it has been, to get information distributed faster. And TikTok has, the next step from TikTok is Neuralink and having chips in our head, and it's just made everything so quickly. You can post a video
Please
and
please no.
you're not going to get the little thing in your, oh man, you're missing out,
No.
bro. You don't want to get
No.
updates. You don't want updates right into your noggin, no. But TikTok is sort of like just the embodiment of what we're trying to do with technology, where you can put out something and instantly it has reached some random guy in Alaska and you don't even know why. There are people in shags who have never seen or probably don't have a smartphone, but they know what TikTok is. It's a sign of the times. I do think that artists are just, artists, we use we use technology to benefit what we're doing. And technology is not the main thing. It's sort of like, it's a medium, right? And so artistry currently we're at a place where we're using TikTok for the good of art. And I think it's good. Ultimately, that's what I'm trying to say. I think TikTok is a good thing. However, it has a very, very big negative side, which is it has really affected, one, how we listen to music, and two, the type of music that we listen to. The masses are gravitating away from very complex chords. They're gravitating away from, like you say, multi-section music. We have intro, bridge, instrumental breakdown. We're going into a more simplified type of music with a very simplified message type deal. Some of our best artists, some of the best artists I like, a lot of them have, not necessarily a lot of them, some of them have complained about how they are not making music for TikTok, and they're going to stick to their guns and they're going to create music, and whoever likes it, likes it. And that's a big problem that we're facing now, because then what does that do? Does that do permanent damage to the industry in terms of just the type of music? Because then that's what the labels focus on, because that's what's making them the most money. Does that do permanent damage to the industry, or are we just going to gravitate to something next and then music will sort of like reset? Has it been affected permanently? That would be where I'm like, I don't know what's happening, because it has definitely changed. Earlier today, I was listening to a song, and at the 2-minute mark, I'm not even kidding you, around 2 minutes 30 seconds, my brain was like, hey, this song is long. It was a 5-minute song.
Bro, Sam, that has happened to me so many times.
Yeah.
Like, where you check the time and it's 1 minute 30 and I feel like it's 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's because of not just TikTok, also Instagram Reels. It's because social media has made consuming art and media very, very, very quick. And if it doesn't state its point in 2 seconds or less, we move on from it. And so that, unfortunately, I feel like on the art side, if I'm to be artsy, that has affected art negatively, because I think some artists' best work, like the solos at the end of songs, like we don't get no solos anymore, man. Like 2-minute guitar solos, like they're all done. It's done for, and the art has been affected. So yeah, I think that there's positives and negatives.
How are rappers supposed to like loop those parts, add drums, and then add like their own parts to that stuff? You know what I mean?
Are we really sampling any Lil Baby songs in the next 20, 30 years? There's nothing to sample. The song is over in 1 minute and he rapped over all of it. It as an art, if I'm thinking as a music industry person, like I'm like, okay, it's a positive thing, because then music, we have the opportunity to push music towards more people. and there's just a great opportunity to get fans. But then from the artist side, I'm like, I don't just want to sit around and have to make videos and be forced to do these things. Not that they're bad and not that I'm lazy, but then it's just that sometimes a lot of artists feel like cheapening it for the sake of it being palatable on a specific medium, which will be TikTok in this case, affects the art negatively. And I just don't want to do that. I want to create, and I want to create as what I want to create. I don't know if it makes sense.
Me as a whole, this might be controversial. I think I think TikTok. No, I agree with you actually. I think TikTok, for the most part, has messed the music industry in a way. Like, because even the marketing of music, the distribution of it has really been cheapened.
The shelf life of it has been affected.
Yeah.
And with the shelf life being affected,
cheapened by TikTok.
Yeah, with the shelf life of it being affected, artists' values decrease. Like, because it's just it's so quick. You're here today and you're gone tomorrow, and you don't have
facts.
That
and the consumer
anymore. Leverage is not there.
And the consumer is just gonna say, okay, like, this artist stop posting as much.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Exactly. Because that's what TikTok has primed us to be. TikTok has primed us just on to the next one, and we're done. So it's crazy, man. Anyway, TikTok is back though.
Yeah,
so.
It's back. So this is an argument, but like, bro, I'm on the side of the music bro. I saw so many music executives on their Twitter, on their Instagram, were like actually so happy that TikTok is gone. But Sam, to answer your question that you posed like earlier, I don't think the music industry ever goes back to what it was before TikTok. Like, some of these things, they happen, and this is just the new reality. Like AI, like, this is just the new reality we're in now.
Yeah.
Like, there's no going back. So we just have to figure out how to like maneuver in this.
I'm telling you, Neuralink, bro. Let's Elon is cooking after he finishes buddying up with
Neuralink.
With D Trump. No, he's cooking. Maybe.
Why do I need Elon in my mind?
Can you imagine waking up in the morning and Elon is over there giving you the news on SpaceX or whatever he's doing? Oh man, what him and Trump ate for lunch. Oh wow, that's a strong opinion. All right. This is not a political podcast.
Yeah.
We do not we need a disclaimer. We need a disclaimer before we do anything political. Let's talk music, man. Let's get into music.
Before we talk music, I just want to quickly just put you guys on to OneBeat Music. They announced recently that it's gonna have their next fellowship in Kenya, actually, and so essentially it's gonna be set in the inspiring distant relatives echo lodge in the town of Kilifi, just a short drive from Mombasa. And OneBeat Kenya will immerse participants in a thriving music scene rich in culture and workshops, discussions, and hands-on exercises, along with masterclasses, music recording sessions, and filmmaking projects. So if you're an upcoming artist and you want to, like, I think it's going to be open to like 12 creatives. Just check out their page and sign up. You never know. Like, it'll open you up to so many different creatives. You'll be able to learn. You'll be able to grow as a musician in the space. And yeah, man, I think you only stand to benefit from such a thing. I think it's been organized by Nyokabi Kariuki. So shout out to her, man, for being very active in that space. New music, bro.
New music. What dropped? All right, let's just run through a couple of drops. First of all,
Sam.
Yeah.
You told me to remind you about something.
Oh yeah. Oh no, this is still part of news.
Yes.
Part of news. So, there's rumors, and I'm sure you'll be very excited about this. We are going to get a Rick Ross and Calligraph Jones song soon. Like, it's almost here. It's almost here. Calligraph.
I can barely contain my excitement. Yay!
Oh, you're such a hater, man. Why are you hating? Woohoo! Who is hilarious. Nah, but then they've been talking about collabing. I think they've tried to do a couple of things together. Last year I think they're supposed to be like on like a live or something. I don't know if that worked out actually. But yeah, this year again, Calligraph is saying that he's working on a collaboration with Rick Ross. Rick Ross doesn't know that he's collaborated with a bunch of Kenyan artists. He doesn't know it. I won't mention who it is, but he doesn't know Wiz Khalifa. We have a Wiz Khalifa collab. We have Rick Ross. I'll just leave that there where it's supposed to be.
Oh, no. The Wiz Khalifa, the Wiz Khalifa collab. He knows. Wiz Khalifa knows about that one. But like,
I'm talking about the same guy who collabed with Rick Ross. Also had a Wiz Khalifa joint on him.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know who you are. You know
our
who you
industry
are.
is so special.
Yeah, very special.
One thing about our industry, it never ceases to give me some form of entertainment.
That's crazy. Beg for it. Jera is coming. I think she's going to drop. I can't remember what the name of that was. I saw it somewhere, but I can't remember the name. It's called 4-Letter Word, an EP.
Would you ever beg for it?
No. We don't do begging over here. We don't beg. We don't beg. Why would you even ask me that? 4-Letter Word. Set to drop in 24 days. Releases on 14th February. It is a Valentine's Day drop, which makes sense, right? 4-Letter Word, we're thinking it's love. It could be hate. It could be something else, but it's probably love. So she dropped her first single, Beg for It, produced by Kobe Worldwide. This is, again, everything we're I want to stop looking at Njerai I want to stop looking at Njerai as universal Njerai versus independent Njerai. I just want to see as Njerai, and that's what I'm really working hard on. Just that being in the industry, that's kind of where we gravitate to in terms of the news. But then anyway, Beg for It. What did you think of the song? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
I liked it. I actually thought the songwriting was really strong.
Yeah.
The beat was actually really good. Njerai is a star. Like, honestly, she's trailblazing. One thing annoyed me about the song though, and I guess this is one of the downsides of being an engineer or producer, and some people might be like, oh my god, like you like, could you just like be, it's like those people who go to like, when people say, oh, you must be fun at parties because like you're like, but it's true, like some things are like a bit annoying, and like it's just, this is an Njerai. Njerai did her job. She did it fantastically. But like,
good too.
There's just like there's some crackling from the microphone that's just like,
a little bit of distortion somewhere. Insane. I was like,
it's driving me insane.
I was hoping that we won't see that would be a thing of the past, but
we love the song. Like we love, like I know even when she's gonna be performing that song, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, it's just things like that we need to start taking care of, like just to elevate and get to the next level. I know it's like very trivial and it's not everyone, but then it's happened enough for us to be like, all right, like people really actually need to pay attention to this kind of things. Quality control. And personally, I've produced for an artist who, the person who was mixing the record didn't really pay attention to that, and when I heard it out, I was like, oh, come on, like. Anyway, so that was that. Njerai, shout out to Njerai. We're waiting for the project.
Even if you watch the 2014 Forest Hills Drive documentary, there's a scene. It's etched in my mind. J. Cole was like I don't know if he was. I don't think he was even in the studio. I think he was just like in the. Actually, I think he was in the studio, but like in the waiting room, and he was giving it like its final listen, right? And he pauses it. He's like, there's a pop at 1 minute, and he writes it down in his notebook. He's like, there's a pop at like 1 minute, whatever. I swear, like he actually does that. Like, oh, there's a pop here as well, and that's stuff to address. Like, it has to be perfect. That's why that album went platinum with no features, because like the attention to detail.
Yeah, we need
immense. So yeah,
we need a lot of artists to just sit back with their music or artist teams,
guys,
whoever is at the final line, to sit down and ensure that when it's leaving the studio, it's at its best. And no excuses. When you tend to make excuses, it's about the vibe. It's about
This is not to say that Sam and I are perfect. Like, but this.
No, I'm saying the songs that I've released that has pops on it, which
I've made mistakes like this as well. But yeah, that's why we're really like we're really like talking about this a lot because it's stuff that we've done as well. You know what I mean? And it's like, and we know that feeling of releasing music, and then you hear something over and
my
over
heart
again, and
sinks.
it's just like, oh.
Can you imagine listening to it on DSP?
So it's
and
just from
hear
experience.
Pop, or there's like 5 seconds at the end of the song. Non-stop, Nameless and Mandy. Nameless is another drop featuring Mandy. That was cool. Who else did I listen to? Ochungulo Family. Speaking of this, the Gengetone and Arbantone, Ochungulo Family dropped Zero Distance. I don't know how I feel about this one, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
I don't know.
I like it. I loved Benzema's one-liners as usual. I mean, yes, the content is as usual very raunchy, but like
it's like
it's
just
cool.
they just
I'm
resumed from where they left off.
Yeah, bro, the Gengetone is having a resurgence, and I'm here for it.
I wouldn't say that so quickly. Let's wait until like mid-year and see what happens. Let's wait till like April, May, June, perhaps.
Ethic literally just announced that they're releasing a new song. So like, bro, there's a concerted effort to bring Gengetone back.
It's just Ochungula and Ethic so far. Let's see what other people are saying. We need more.
Yeah, but that's the first domino, right? So hopefully people will catch up.
That's the first domino. A lot of EDM music was released. A lot of EDM music. K-Rob released K-Rob and JT Bulinda released Between Sunrise and Sunset. Sunrise. They've been releasing a couple of music. They've been releasing some music recently. Towards the end of last year, mid-end of last year, they were dropping a lot, and it is culminated in a project. So if you are a fan, go check that out. Saint Evo, who is one of my favorite DJs from the Kenyan scene. I really enjoy his stuff. He's released a song called Shy. That was pretty good. I'm going to highlight Idaziz stays releasing music. And he released 2 songs. Twende.
Shout out to Idaziz.
Yeah, Twende and Manga. Idaziz and a couple of other people. Yeah, man. I mean, what do you want from us? It's Idaziz music, and he's going to dominate.
Did you talk about Data by Slikback?
I haven't gotten to that. I'll get to that. Actually, let me just highlight one more thing, and then you tell me how you liked, whether you liked it, then you can get into that. Kazi by DJ Mura, KE, DJ Fita, and Jiru. Fita, yeah, and that's just, I mean, more Unz music, more EDM. Man, they really. I'd like to know what time of the year Unz works best. These guys are dropping Unz in January. I feel like it's more of like
January, because like, bro, this week was saturated with electronic music. I can't lie.
Yeah, and Dunda released Umuthi as well. That was more Unz music. But yeah, and then it's not necessarily Unz, but it's electronic. Slikback and Data.
Bro, that was insane. Like, that was just an insane experience. It was like deconstructed drum and bass, like electronic. It was just so, it was such a experience. So shout out to Slikback. I don't know too much about him.
It's a project. There's 3 songs on there, and they all have that similar. It's not all drum and bass, but they all have that similar electronic, just raw. More like sound experiments with electronic drums on it. So yeah, shout out to him.
Mm-hmm. What did I listen to? I mean, I listened to Party All Night by Brooklyn Boys and Albizi. It's first of all, shout out to Albizi. Albizi has been out here. He's working, and I'm glad to see he's working with more mainstream acts, putting himself out there. It's been marketed as an I'm a piano track. I like it. What I took away from this song though is that AJ is such a star, man. Like AJ is like, his aura is like, bro, his aura is undeniable. Did you talk about, hold on, did you leave me anything to talk about, Sam?
No, I did. I took
it
all
my goodness.
I'm so sorry.
I don't think I listened to anything much.
Was it just Unz?
Fine Girl by Dopamine, Rifaman and Riziki. Yeah. So it's good to see the Dopamine still releasing music. I don't think I listen to anything outside of what we've mentioned already, aside from the one that we're leaving for the end.
Cool. All right. I mean, we could just get to that now. We could get to that now. I was listening and just happily laddie-dying along my way, and I stumbled on a track by Kasiva Mutua, who is a percussionist. I've known about her for a minute now. She mostly does like percussion music and stuff like that, and she tours and goes outside of the country to play music. Maybe she's the one. Maybe it's the percussionist that's going to put us on in as a Kenyan country. Kasiva Mutua and Kenyan country and Hermann Ogulla released a song
as a Kenyan country.
It is a song called Ndikweteela. If I'm pronouncing that right, probably butchering it. But oh my goodness, what a joint. Like, it's so vibey. So vibey. I definitely enjoyed it a lot. I like Kasiva Mutua. I don't know if she's going to release more music, but my ears are perked. My ears are perked. What do you think of the song before we play it?
No, I love it, man. The horns on that joint is just like, it's so addictive. I was telling Sam, listen, the spirit of Fela Kuti would be so disappointed in us if we did play this.
We need to appease the spirit of Fela Kuti. Can't have it angry at us.
Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we could play that. Here is Ndikweteela by Kasiva Mutua and Hermann Ogulla.
Baba
that was Ndikweteela, Kasiva, Mutua, and Hermann Ogulla. This fella must be fella was happy. He was wherever he was excited at that one. He's humming that tune.
Fella was super, bro. I think he actually actively wanted this song to come out. He's so proud.
All right,
he's such a proud
leave this
dad
line
right
of thought. Let's not continue this. Let's not continue this, man. But yeah, man. I mean, that's that, I guess. Shout out to her.
That's that.
Yeah,
Shout out to them. Guys, thank you guys so much to listening. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. Yes, there were moments there where I was shouting. No, I don't apologize. Sam, as always, love curating this podcast with you. And I specifically or especially love you guys for listening to this podcast. If you're new here, at the end of the podcast, I like to shout out the 3 C's. What are they, you ask? Well, number 1 is confidence. I need you guys to be confident in your music or your art. Like, people feed on confidence. If you're not confident, people are not going to listen to your stuff. So you have to be confident. Number 2, you have to be consistent in both the creation of the art and the output. Consistently make beats if you're a producer, and if you're an artist, figure out ways to consistently release music. And I'm not talking about every day. If you set out to release an EP every year, right, then do that. Like, figure out how to consistently make that happen. And lastly, craft. Always work on your craft. Even if you only have to spend 5 minutes to do something, just make sure, or you only have 5 minutes in your day to do something that builds towards your art or your craft. Do it. And you'll see the benefits. Sam?
Yeah, man. Just to wrap it up, I feel like we're currently in a space where there's a lot of discourse and conversation around Kenyan music. There's a lot of different opinions on how it should go and what we need to do and how we feel like it's going to be received. I think that that's really good. It's bringing awareness, but I also feel like we should, if you know an artist who is releasing music, whatever, an artist and instrumentalist that releases music or who wants to, encourage them and support them. Support goes a long way in making what we have come. What we really want for our industry bloom, come to pass. And so just support your local artists, support your international artists who are Kenyan. Support Kenyan music as much as you can, and let's just see what we can do to put this thing on the map. Because it's very possible. It's very possible, and we definitely have. We are headed somewhere. So yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what happens. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And with that, we will see you guys on episode 115.